Welcome back. My name is Patrick, and today we're going to take a look at UFA goalie targets for the Edmonton Oilers. As we head into summer 2022, the Oilers are still looking for a goaltender. After an injury-riddled season, Mike Smith came back and showed some late-season heroics, helping the Oilers to secure a playoff spot, and then he started every game for the Oilers in a 16-game playoff run that saw them ultimately fall in round 3. Smith was stellar in some games, struggled in others, but at the end of the day, injuries and age appear to have brought his time to an end. He's expected to either retire in the coming days or spend the season on long-term injured reserve. Stuart Skinner got his first taste of NHL action last season, going 6-6 with a goals against average of 2.62 and a save percentage of .913. Skinner looks NHL ready, and he can step in as the new backup goaltender this season. Skinner may be ready for more than that, but to ask more of him at this stage would be unfair. The Oilers need to bring in a new number one. Let's start with the goalies who are pending unrestricted free agents on July 13th. Willie Hosso of the St. Louis Blues. With Jordan Binnington locked in long-term, Hosso will hit the free agent market, and the Oilers are one of many teams who have expressed interest. Hosso had an incredible regular season with a 25-7 record and a goals against average of 2.56 and a save percentage of .919. But in the playoffs, a 2-5 record showed he's not invincible and there's still work to be done. At age 27, the Oilers would be getting a goaltender that fits in well. He's not on the verge of retirement, but rather looking for a bigger opportunity. I think a tandem of Hosso and Skinner could serve the Oilers well. Hosso isn't a goalie the Oilers would be pressured into giving a long-term deal to, and he wouldn't stand in the way of Skinner's potential development. His limited NHL experience of 57 games and recent playoff performance do give you some pause, but to me, they aren't deal breakers. My guess at a contract for Hosso? A 4-year, $20 million deal with a $5 million AAV. Jack Campbell of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Despite another strong regular season, the Toronto Maple Leafs once again fell in the first round, and their goaltending situation is up in the air. Earlier in the year, re-signing Jack Campbell seemed like a given for the Leafs, but injury issues struck once again for Campbell, an unfortunate staple of his career. As a result, the Leafs are considering their options. Similar to Willie Hosso, Campbell was stellar, going 31-9 with a goals against average of 2.64 and a save percentage of .914. But he also saw his numbers drop in the playoffs, and ultimately he couldn't get the job done. At age 30, Campbell is a little older and is definitely looking to cash in on his next contract. His injury issues really scare me off, and I have a feeling at the end of the day, he ultimately remains with the Maple Leafs. My guess at a contract for Campbell? A 5-year, $25 million deal with a $5 million AAV. Darcy Kelperi of the Colorado Avalanche. I really wanted the Oilers to land Darcy Kelperi last summer, but the Avs snagged him, and he enjoyed a fantastic season, going 37-12 with a goals against average of 2.54 and a save percentage of .921. The Avs are currently in the Stanley Cup Finals after taking down the Oilers in 4 straight, and Kelperi has a shot at a cup ring. So why would he even be available? The Avs will be going into a cap crunch, and Kemper's tandem partner Pavel Francouz looks like he'll be ready to take over. The Avs may opt to just sign a strong backup and let Kelperi walk to free agency. We know the Oilers have had strong interest in Kelperi in the past, and there could be a match here. You can probably sign Kelperi to a shorter-term deal, which could benefit the Oilers if Stuart Skinner continues to emerge. However, Kelperi does have an injury history as well, so it's far from a sure thing. My guess at a contract for Kelperi? A 3-year, $12 million deal with a $4 million AAV. Marc-Andre Fleury of the Minnesota Wild. Marc-Andre Fleury was another goalie I really wanted the Oilers to go after last season, particularly around the trade deadline to upgrade. However, Fleury didn't want to go to Edmonton and ended up with the Minnesota Wild. Fleury had a strong regular season with a struggling Blackhawks team, but couldn't get the job done with a stronger Wild team in the playoffs. Fleury is only 1 season removed from winning the Vezina, but is also 37, and it would be pretty shocking if we didn't see a dip in his play this season. But to this point, he's showing he's not done, so we shouldn't discount him just yet. As I said, he didn't want to go to Edmonton at the deadline, but with the border restrictions eased, and seeing the run that the Oilers just went on, he may be looking at them more favorably now. I have a feeling, though, we ultimately see Fleury end up back in Pittsburgh to close out his career. My guess at a contract for Fleury? A 2-year, $8 million deal with a $4 million AAV. There are also options like Yaroslav Halak and Braden Holtby out there, but I don't feel comfortable going with either guy. I don't think Halak is more than a backup at this point, and despite a strong bounce-back season, Holtby was derailed by injuries, and he might not even end up being an option for next season. In my next goalie targets installment, I'll take a look at some goalies the Oilers can target through trade. Well, what do you think, guys? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel, and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. I'll see you soon.